What's up, my fellow Doncicians? I'm the Lucky Show. Welcome to the Luka Show. We're going to switch things up just a little bit this episode. We're going to start digging in a little bit deeper into Panini products. So this episode, we're going to focus in on Panini's 10 best parallels, in my opinion. Now, why is that important? I think the easy answer is there are a crap ton of Panini parallels. So if you're coming back to the hobby, you're used to Topps, Upper Deck, Fleer, or you're new to the hobby, or you're just trying to familiarize yourself with Panini products, this is somewhat of a cheat sheet, right? When I came back into the hobby, I had to figure everything out. I realized it's really about parallels when it comes to Panini. So you look at the top 10 cards, top 10 parallels, and if you're speculating on a player, you want to start collecting a player, I'd say this is a great cheat sheet. Focus in on these 10 parallels, and you should be doing all right. Now, does this mean that these are the only desirable Panini parallels? No. I do think there is probably 24 parallels that I really like, but this is a top 10 list, so there are going to be the bubble boys, the bubble parallels. Also, I should say I did not include one-of-one parallels in this top 10 list. I do think there's somewhat of a niche. You've got the blacks, the gold vinyls, the nebulas. We're going to set that aside. I just wanted to look at parallels where there are multiple copies so you guys could actually go out and pick up one of these copies if you wanted to. So let's actually, before we get into it, let me share with you guys a new contest that I'm going to be doing. When we hit 250 subscribers, I'm putting together a fun gamified episode. Let me share with you guys the prize that I'll be giving away to one of you subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. But this will be the prize. It's going to be Luka's Threads Dazzle Statement Variation. I think it's a stunning looking card, beautiful looking card. So that will be the giveaway at 250 subscribers. All right, now let's jump back into this episode. Let's take a look at number 10 on my list. And for those of you guys who are very familiar with Panini products, you know all these parallels. This is a time, let's have the discussion down below. Which ones did I get right? Which ones did I get wrong? Which ones would you add to the mix? Because this is definitely more of an art than a science, so people are going to have different opinions. All right, let's begin though. Number 10 is the Tiger Stripe. And this was first introduced in 1819 Prism Choice. So last year, Panini started doing these Asia exclusive releases. They're basically Prism, but they had their own parallels and they had their own chase cards. And this was really the most striking of them. This is the Tiger Stripe unnumbered. You're not going to confuse this with any other parallel. I think it's undeniably Tiger Stripe. Also has these little circles. Panini calls them scope, but they're very reminiscent of 97-98 PMG or championship PMG cards. That same finish, but then when you add that with the Tiger Stripe parallel, it's just a really stunning card. I picked up a Curry as well. And my one regret here is I did not pick up a Luka Tiger Stripe. I have no idea what I was thinking. Luka loves tigers, even has a tiger tattoo on his arm. In fact, I didn't pick one of these up for $600 at release. Still kills me since I was looking at that card. All right, that was number 10, the Tiger Stripe out of Prism Choice. So this next one, number 9, I actually don't even have any copy of because it's such a new parallel. And I'm putting it up here in the top 10 at number 9. One, they're just visually stunning, but also there's already quite a demand for this card. So what card is it? It's 1920 Mosaic Choice, the Peacock. If you guys haven't seen this before, they are just stunning. They're just like the Tiger Stripe, undeniably Peacock. If you get a good look at that, can't really focus in quite so well. Let me go behind the card. But, nope, there it goes disappearing. Come back, focus. Where's the focus? See me, there we go. Bring it back. Anyways, that Mosaic, it's incredibly rare as well. It's only been several weeks since the release, but for the most part, we've seen 0 to 1 copy of each player. It is probably going to be 5 or less print run, in my opinion. We still haven't seen a Curry, a LeBron, a Luka base hit eBay. We have seen a Tatum third year Peacock went for over $1,000. So that speaks to the eyes on this card, already the popularity on this card. And in many ways, this was first-year Mosaic as well, as it branched away from Prism. So for me, it's the most interesting parallel out of Mosaic. Mosaic is really set up now, the way they configure hobby and retail, similar to Optic and Prism. Mosaic is really in a position to continue to grow in the future, and this Peacock parallel, I think, will age quite well. So number 9, out of Mosaic choice, is the Peacock. All right, number 8, we're going to continue along the choice train. This is the last choice card, though. Again, this Asia exclusive. Maybe I'm biased here. My Asianness is kicking in. But number 8 is the Dragon. And the Dragon was first introduced in 1819 Optic choice. You guys know how I feel about 1819 Optic. But again, here, Panini really pushing the envelope with this unnumbered, low print parallel. Really bold design again here with the green dragon scale. Just love the card. Love 1819 Optic. The marriage of the two just makes me just freak out over this card. Print run estimated around 5 copies. It's been over a year since release, and for the most part, we've seen 3 or 4 copies of each player show up. They've been a tough grade. I have another one of these Currys that looked flawless. I sent it into PSA, got a PSA 7. Still scratching my head over that one. But anyways, 1819 Optic choice was the first year of Dragons. They have continued this year, and they will always be one of my favorites, and they'll probably continue to move up the list as it gets a little bit more history behind it. All right, number 7 is Contenders Cracked Ice to 25. So this was introduced by Panini in 2017-18 in Contenders. That was really the year they decided to really revamp that product, started featuring those rookie on-card autos that they're known for. That's really their big card that people are looking for. And the most stunning parallel they have is this Cracked Ice. They have a rookie card auto to 25, Cracked Ice to 25, as well as a variation to 20. And just visually, the best looking Contenders cards. Now, there are other Cracked Ice outside of Contenders. I'm not talking about that. They have like the Red Ice, Blue Ice. They have Blue Ice and Prism, which is also a very nice parallel, the bubble parallel. But I'm talking about Contenders Cracked Ice to 25. I think the Vet base Cracked Ice to 25 is a really undervalued card. And some say, hey, they're just atomic refractors, but I think Panini just does it a little better job, a little bit more bling going on with the card. So that is number 7, Contenders Cracked Ice to number 25. All right, number 6 is another one of my favorites, and it is Black Velocity out of Optic. So this is first year Black Velocity, 2017-18, probably the saving grace of that 17-18 year that got beat up pretty good. It wasn't super desirable. People didn't love the design of the card, but the Black Velocity they nailed. And I've mentioned this before. Let me show you my Luka. You know, this is the only black parallel Panini has that's not a one of one. These are numbered to 39, so there's a good number of them. I'm not saying there's a lot of them, but if you're a collector or you want to speculate on a certain rookie, if you put in the work, you should be able to find one of these cards after a few months, right? They look exactly the same as the Optic one of ones, but you throw in these cool geometric rainbow colored shapes reminiscent of Beam Team, and you just got a visually stunning card and just one of my favorites, Black Velocity out of Optic. That is number, what was this, number 6? Yeah, that was number 6. All right, moving on to number 5, and this is the White Sparkle. And I'm showing you, this is the first year White Sparkle. It was first introduced 15-16 Prism, found not in boxes, not in hobby boxes or retail. These are real quirky because Panini created White Sparkle packs that you could either buy directly through the site with points, or in some years it's been cash. In other years you had to buy a certain product, right? Like an unpopular box. There used to be unpopular boxes back in the day, guys. But if you buy it, I think like in 2017-18, you had to buy a box of preferred basketball and you got a free pack of this. So very quirky release. And now we see White Sparkles in Optic. We see it in Spectra. It's just it's an unnumbered card. First year White Sparkle estimates are like 5 to 10 print runs, so incredibly rare cards. Nowadays, I believe most people believe their print run is 20 or less. But just one of the more important Prism parallels out there. Really great design, especially this first year with the white borders, the cool little rainbow bubbles. That is number 5, the White Sparkle. All right, number 4, it's going to look similar because it's the same debut year, is the Prism Mojo. And this was also introduced in 2015-16 Prism. An underrated year of Prism, in my opinion. And just another just beautiful, striking design. You guys can probably tell the dragon, the curry dragon I showed you guys, similar finish, but the color, of course, is different. But I should say that Optic does have a card that has a similar finish, Mojo finish, but they are not Mojos. So when I look at number 4 here, I'm talking about Mojo, Prism Mojos, numbered to 25. Because in the hierarchy of Prism parallels, there are not many parallels that are more important than this outside of gold. I'll put this well ahead of the green shimmer to 25, any of the pulsars. It is just a staple of Prism hobby boxes, these Mojos, and they'll continue to be big cards moving forward. So Prism Mojo, number to 25, is number 4 on my list. All right, moving on. Number 3. This is one of my favorites of all time. Visually, for me, just the coolest parallel or refractor finish. It is the Galactic. And the first year Galactic was 2015-16 in Revolution. And for me, first year Galactics, they're the type of cards that are only going to go up and up and up. It's one of Panini's best. And like I said before, first year means a little bit more when it's the first year release and it's got that beautiful Galactic finish. There aren't many cards that make me feel like a full-blown kid. This is one of them. Let me show you the Luka here. When you just take one of these out and you start looking at that finish, it's very reminiscent of like looking through a kaleidoscope for me, but it totally makes me feel like a little bit like a kid. And for me, that's pretty much the highest praise I could give in the hobby. And stunning card. Unnumbered goodness again here. Print run anywhere from 8 to 20. I think the earlier years is definitely closer to 8. Maybe in these last few years closer to 20. But this will always go down as one of my favorite parallels out of Panini, just visually. And now you've got the history also working for it. Looking at that 2015-16 Revolution Galactics. Those are going to be huge cards forever and ever, guys. All right. Number 2. And number 2, this is not so much because of value where I rank this, and some people might actually rank this number 1. It's more the impact that it had in the basketball card hobby. It is the Silver Prism. So these were first introduced in 2012, 2013, the very first year of Prism. Undoubtedly, in my opinion, the most important set Panini has ever made and will ever make. These were so rare back in the day, right? So these were 150 to 200 print run first year Prisms. They really became, though, in future years. I would say Ben Simmons in 2016-17, he elevated the Silver Prism to another level. He had no autos, he had no RPAs, so his Silver Prism really took off in price. And I think people started noticing that was kind of the first wave of collectors or people coming back to the hobby. And it really snowballed from there in future years. But the Silver Prism, it just became the chase for the masses, right? It's the card. Now we take a look at 2018. So 2012-13, you're looking at 150 to 200 print run. And that Luka's year, you're probably looking at closer to 8,000 print run. So it speaks to the popularity, the growth of the product, because, you know, people thought these were overproduced. No, the demand is there to gobble up these cards. And so to have a card that is undeniably the chase card for a rookie for the masses really solidified the Panini brand and really helped move the hobby forward, as people had the card they knew, like they could go to Target and Walmart and try to hit. So hugely important card. And now we see not only with Prisms, but you also have the Silver Hollows that have become a big deal. Select, now we have Mosaic with their silvers. Just a really important parallel for the masses, and that's why it's number 2. Let's call it 1B. So if the silver is number 2, then you got to put the gold at number 1. And here is one of the biggest Panini sets ever here. The gold 2012, 2013 Prism. And yes, I do own one of these, and I am a little bit biased, but I do believe that in the Panini era, there's no card like this. It is the most comparable to the PMG greens of the 90s. If you look at Panini cards, same scarcity, 10 copies, and a LeBron hasn't sold since 2013. So these cards, just very similar to the 2015-16 Galactics, are cards, in my opinion, they will continue just to go up and up and up and up, right? So if you're lucky enough to hold on to one of those, I would say continue to hold on to one of those. And the nice thing about the golds as well, it's really become a huge staple of Panini cards. So now you have really valuable gold optics, and you have gold selects, you got gold mosaics, you got golds all over the place, but still the most important one is going to be the Prism Gold. Such a beautiful card, and this will be a card that you guys are going to hear about more and more as some big sales as a LeBron hopefully eventually hits the marketplace. So that's it, guys. That's my top 10 list. Again, feel free to agree, disagree with that list, but that's how I view it. Hope this has been informative or just fun for you guys to take a look at my own list. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, giving away this card at 250 subscribers, so don't forget to subscribe. Anyways, have fun collecting, guys. Peace out.